I just want to get it. Now, Minnie, don't get nervous on me. Are you nervous? Because this is gonna be all over my social media. This is what I do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is gonna be every.
You
Yeah,
didn't give her warning. You didn't give her
no,
disclaimer.
I gave people warning. No, check the doc. Check my doc in my bio at the bottom. It's all the way at the bottom, but when you scroll, it says
All the way, it's like
yeah,
font, like
all right.
it'll be posted all over
Oh
social.
man.
Point three font, but it's all right. Like,
Okay.
but again, I think that this type of content and these type of topics are just so, I think, important to the fitness community. You know what I'm saying? And body dysmorphia is something we've talked about before in here, but I wanted to recycle it. I wanted to recycle it, make sure that, you know, people in some sense can restate how they're feeling now, because some people struggle with stuff, man. I remember when I had a family member tell me that she was struggling with body dysmorphia, someone close to me, and I didn't know it all. But sometimes it's checking in on people doing stuff like this that can truly help somebody who's going through body dysmorphia or depression, anxiety, anything like that. So, Minnie, if you don't mind, just a brief synopsis. Can you, I guess, state who you are, where you're from, and then also what started your fitness journey? Just a brief synopsis.
Um, well, I'm Minnie from Texas. What started my fitness journey was just well, I had mentioned like on my Facebook post about how I was like considered like the heavy set one of like my siblings. And I'm like, well, that's not cool. I don't like
Yeah.
I'm in college and stuff. How come I can't be like the smart one? Like, why do I
Yeah.
have to be like the heavy set one? So I guess where I didn't like shopping, like I would go shopping and like I just didn't like the way clothes fit and stuff, everything, or I was struggling finding my size, you know, because I would be plenty of like smaller sizes available, but then like my size wouldn't be available. And also just like my grandmother, I took care of her while she was on hospice till she passed, and she had high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, all of that. Seems like my mom is kind of going in that same route where she's taking a lot of different medicine. I hate taking medicine right now. I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
one pill a day I'm supposed to take, and I struggle with taking that one pill. So I
Mhm.
can imagine if my life depended on taking like 5
Mhm.
different pills.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so then I was like, should probably do something then. So
Yeah.
here I am, 40 pounds later.
Let's go. Let's go. No, that is dope. That is so dope. It ties right into the topic, which is actually very amazing too. But going back to, I guess, actually you and Giselle, I actually would actually want to ask y'all a question right now. It just kind of popped into my head. But me being a guy, I think that's not something we really deal with. You know what I'm saying? Growing up as a guy, it's just like, oh yeah, we want to get the shoes, or we want to get this, or we want to get that. Like we don't really worry about size or like having to find the right size. Now for me, the only difficulty was my shoe size. I like they used to call me boats in middle school because I used to wear like a size 12. I wear a size 14 now. But like
Yeah.
that would be like the only thing in terms of like what I had problems finding. And then I was tall too. I'm 6'3". But going back to you both being females, shopping, clothing, finding your size and stuff, that is a very interesting topic. And you would have this experience, Minnie, with your family members, like with your siblings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because me and my older sister, I wanted to be just like my older sister. We're 7 years apart. And so at one point we were the same size. And then as I started developing more, then like I had to go to bigger sizes. So I couldn't wear the same things that she was wearing. And there were like stores, like I see people now like on TikToks and stuff, they're talking about like Abercrombie and Fitch and American Eagle, they sell plus size jeans now. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to those stores because those stores were not my friend.
Yeah.
Back when I
Back
was
when
14 and 15 and feeling real self-conscious, had low self-esteem because that's what everybody was wearing. And I wanted to wear what everybody else was wearing, you know, like you're a teenager, you want to fit in and stuff. You want to, you know, and so I'm like, no, I'm not putting my money into those stores. You know, like, like we're not friends. So those stores triggered a lot of bad trauma for me coming up. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not going there.
Exactly. And that,
I mean, it is good that they are carrying those sizes now, but
is it for the money?
good.
Is it for the money? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They was missing out on a market.
Plus size is a trend now. It's a trend now. Like it's a whole trend. It's a whole trend now. Let me ask y'all this. And this is something I actually been wanting to ask people for a minute. I'm actually glad y'all brought up this plus size like topic. Would y'all consider plus size to be, again, this is a word we use, you know, and I'm I freely use, and I, in some sense, don't think that it has a negative connotation to it. But do some of you think that plus size is fat?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because a lot of times what's considered plus size, as far as actual like clothing sizes, like you see like Serena Williams, and compared to like the way the fashion industry is, she would probably be considered plus size, but she's like complete 100% muscle. You know, like she's like a star athlete. So no, I don't feel like plus size is necessarily fat.
Okay, yeah. I love that. I love that perspective. I love it. Giselle, what about you? I've been meaning to ask people this.
I agree with her, yeah, because there are people that they have a lot of muscle on them, like, and you can't just look at someone. We've talked about this with like other meetings and like body positivity and stuff like that, but like you can't look at someone and assume, oh, all they have is fat on them. Like, no, you don't know what they do. They might work out, they might be eating pretty healthy, and they have a good amount of muscle on them. Like, everyone's different. You can't assume. You know, there are plenty of skinny people that have health problems. There are plenty of skinny people that don't take care of themselves. If I have them work out, they'll be dying.
Like, yeah.
And it's like they're barely like doing much, you know? So it just depends. You can't just look at someone and assume their health, really.
I love that. I love that. I love the responses because again, I don't know much about, you know, body shapes and all these different type of things as well. I mean, I know about the, you know, as a guy, the endomorph, ectomorph, things like that. But I don't. Can you even subscribe plus size to males? Because I don't even see that sometimes.
Say one more time.
Can you subscribe like plus size in terms of like a person's body shape? Can you subscribe that to males, or is that just only applied to females? I've never seen it apply to males.
I've never seen it apply to males. I guess I guess for plus size for women it would be like the equivalent of like big and tall.
Okay.
But a lot of times big and tall is referring to very thin men. They're just very tall.
They're just very tall. Exactly. Yeah. True. Yeah. These are good topics. Again, that's why I wanted to bring this aspect into it. And I'm glad you brought up that term, you know, plus size. But again, I kind of see it as a shape, a body shape as well, like a form in terms of, you know, kind of like hourglass, apple, but you know, pear shape. I kind of see it in those perspectives, but I wanted to get you both's perspective on it as well, because a lot of times too, you know, I've heard people tell me in regards to some females, and I've had females tell me this about other females, and that is, and they were trainers, some of these are trainers, and they would say, yeah, I can't stand when people say that they're thick, because to me that's just you being fat, and that's just an excuse or something like that. And so you disagree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you wouldn't subscribe thick as being fat?
No, not at all. Like I am, like I would consider myself thick now, but like I don't really just consider myself just like obese or like fat though. Like I know I have some areas I need to work on, but I'm not what I would consider fat though.
Yeah. I love this. I love that you, Minnie, are you know, willing to be transparent. Thank you, because I love people like this on my Zoom, because we talk about it. Seriously, I love this. And Giselle, what about you? Because I've heard this from another trainer, but I wanted to pick you both's brain on that. Thick, you think that's equivalent to fat? You think some people use that as an excuse? What's your perspective?
I mean, it depends. I feel like the trend now, like when people say they're thick, it just means like a big butt. You know?
Yeah.
True.
So it's
true,
like,
true.
like you're not really thick. If anything, the correct term, in my opinion, you're slim thick. You know, because a lot of times,
bottom heavy.
I don't know, like it depends. Like a lot of times, like there are like women that like they're kind of like slim right here, but then like lower body, they're like, you know, they're like bigger. So like to me, at least, I consider that like slim thick.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't know, so many terms.
I get what she's saying. Yeah.
I don't know.
This is good though. This is good, because like I said, I'm posting this. This is a topic, or these are discussions that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but I want to ask it because, again, I think bringing awareness to it allows people to deal with it. Some people are thinking these things, or some people are like, yeah, I think this or that. But hey, let's talk about it. So this is dope. We can get right on into it. I know there's someone else that's trying to join, but she's doing something with her son right quick. But I'll just hop into it and I'll kind of dial back a little bit. But okay, when it comes to body dysmorphia, and again, Giselle, I think you've definitely shared this before, so I'll kind of go in with Minnie first, and I'll kind of dial back with you and allow you to share your perspective. But Minnie, in regards to body dysmorphia, is that something you've ever dealt with? And if so, why? Like, what was the root of it?
I mean, it's something I definitely have dealt with. That's part of the reason why I even started like where I'll post like on like TikTok or anything and stuff, whatever, because like there's changes that I don't like. I'm like, I don't see it, you know, like I'm looking at myself and I'm like, ugh, like, you know, so, and then it gets discouraging and stuff, everything. So that's the reason why I started posting videos and stuff. So then I can go back and I see that.
Oh, that's
and,
good.
And I'm like, okay, you know, so then I have like a comparison. I'm like, okay, so you did all that work and okay, this is where you got, you know, so you got from A to B. You're not still stuck at A or reversed back, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think the root of it is just that you just get used to just kind of seeing yourself a certain way. And so it's like, I don't know if it's like a brain chemistry or something. That's, you know, that it's just like, no, that's just what I see, you know? So
yeah, I love it. Amanda's joining us, by the way. What's going on, Amanda? How are you doing? We're actually in the middle of the first question, so you hopped on at the right time. Hey, can you hear us loud and clear?
Let's see. Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you perfectly. Yep, and you don't have to turn your camera on, but you can if you want to. Oh, she turned it on. All right, thank you. What's going on, Amanda? How you doing?
It's been a long day. But we're here.
Absolutely. You told me you were, coming in, and again, I appreciate that. Minnie got in here. She was trying to get in before I even hopped on.
I wasn't sure what time.
No, but that is dope. That tells me people are hungry to talk about their fitness journey and to talk about, fitness. And Amanda, you hit me up, like a few minutes before. So I thank you both. Giselle's a part of my private group, so she's always in here. There's others too that join occasionally, but thank y'all. Y'all are the first, two new people to join today. So Amanda, if you don't mind, because I already asked Minnie this, but if you don't mind, could you just give us a brief synopsis of like who you are, where you're from, and then what started your fitness journey?
Okay, of course. Well, my name is Amanda, and I'm from Georgia, the wonderful Peach State.
Hey, I'm here. Yep. Let's go.
And honestly, it feels like I've been on this journey for years. Probably a lot of people can relate to that because you start this cycle of losing and gaining. But honestly, the more consistent I have become, the more I realized it was more of a mental game. It was, in the back of your head, coming up with probably a lot of valid excuses, but at the same time, between working, especially as a single mom, I have to kind of create a new normal of doing things. The new normal way of slicing up my time to be able to meal prep, to go to the grocery store, to get the food I need, to help. So it wasn't until last year, it's been about a year that I've become really consistent with working out and training and just looking at it from a different standpoint other than just wanting to lose weight. So probably the last 7-8 months have been the most consistent time I've been on this journey. And it's been great. It's been an uphill battle, of course, and part of it has been the body dysmorphia, where it's like when you've been a big person your entire life, you will always see yourself in that same physical body. Even when you have people telling you, oh, you looks like you've lost some weight, the scale change, but honestly, in your eyes, you have that picture of who you've always been. So that has been probably one of the biggest battles that plays into the mental part of things, which is trying to decipher and not trying to allow that image to keep you stuck. Yeah. So, yeah.
Minnie just said the same thing. Like y'all both literally just said the same thing. That whole image of, seeing where you were, you not seeing progress, other people saying it, but then you don't see it. Minnie just stated how she uses social media to refer back to that progress.
Right. Yeah.
That's something you do? You do that?
Yeah, that's become my biggest way of keeping up with it. And it just started posting a couple of videos, going to the gym and stuff, but it's become my almost daily accountability. And it's like I post on a global platform where anybody can see it, but honestly, it's just my video diary. So I can go back on a day where I'm just like, I can't do this. Like,
I feel like posting also is real helpful because for the most part, like the fitness world or whatever, they're like a really supportive group, you know? And so you know, I get like a lot of positive feedback. They'll help me like keep going.
Right. I agree. I do agree with that. It's definitely a sense of community that you build with other people. I mean, it's how I met you.
Yeah.
It's by
same.
On someone else's page about them working through the mental of going to the gym. And it's just like to see that it makes a difference to hold yourself accountable. And especially when you see the non-traditional bodies in the gym. Because sometimes you go to the gym and you see these people who are so fit, at least physically, you see that know what's going on mentally and stuff with people. But it's like one of the greatest things that I've come across with the community that I start to build is you see bodies of different sizes, not just these, toned women, but women of color, larger size women who are in the gym and not allowing that stigma, oh, she's too big or she shouldn't to really motivate you and be like, well, it's possible. So the hardest part is always starting. However, once you start to build that habit and that consistency, it makes a world of a difference. So that's really been my experience.
I mean, I could just sit back and let y'all talk. Y'all just saying so much good stuff. Like seriously, seriously, what you just said, man. This is such great content. I can't wait to post this again. I'm recording, by the way. Man, right. This will be. I just want to let you know it was in the document. It was all the way at the bottom, but it was there. Giselle pointed out. Okay, all right, Giselle. Look, it was visible, Giselle.
I know, just playing.
But I love that. No, go ahead.
Cool. But yeah, I mean, it's even doing something like this, being able to speak with other people who've had similar experiences. It's a great way to bounce back information to each other and discuss our experiences, because not everybody's experience is going to be exactly the same because we're not the same. However, we do have a common similarity to what may bring us to the gym, what may cause us to want to change our lives from what we've experienced. So it's always great to meet like-minded people in life in general, because again, it goes back to building that community and having a sense of community with like-minded people. It allows change to get into the atmosphere, and it can motivate those people who don't have a sense of community. Because that's a lot of times, I have people say, well, how do you go to the gym? How do you do it? And I'm just like, honestly, it's a sacrifice that I have to make some days. Some days I don't want to go. I mean, I worked all day. I have a 6-year-old, very active son. And by the time I get to that point, it's just like, what time is it? I really don't want to go.
Oh, I think we lost her. Okay. All right. I'll just wait until she jumps back in. But Minnie, I did want to go back to you too. And I'm not really sure what happened with her, but going back to the aspect of she's joining in now. But going back into the aspect of the root of your body dysmorphia, what would you say that is now, or I guess was if you were struggling with it then or now? Sorry about that. No, you all good.
I guess I just haven't really thought about it a whole lot. As far as the root of it, like I said, I don't know if it might have been being considered like the fat one. With my family and stuff. And so, yeah. And then I've always just been, I remember in junior high, oh my gosh, it was terrible. Junior high was a terrible time. Sitting at the lunch table, and it was like a big deal. I was always more developed than like the other girls and stuff. So we're sitting at the lunch table, and it was a whole big deal about if your butt actually fit. Like, it's stupid now when I think about it, but like back then, it was a big deal. If your butt actually fit in the lunch chair, or did like your hips or something, or like your thigh like overhang the chair, like the side of the chair. It was like a big thing. And I was so self-conscious about sitting at lunch because of the way my body fit in the chair. You know, I was like, I can't sit like, I mean, I'm sitting in the chair just like the other girls. I said, when I think about it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, how dumb was we?
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah.
This is, again, I thank you for opening up about that, because again, who knows if someone that was, back then with you will see this, and they may laugh at it too. They may be like,
y'all know what y'all did. Y'all was talking about the chairs.
I love that. But that is dope, and it's good to go back. The reason I asked these questions, and the question I asked her, Amanda, was like, what was the root of her body dysmorphia? Like, where did she feel like it kind of stemmed from? And the reason I asked that question is because I feel like a lot of times we don't deal with that root. A lot of times we just go on, we push it aside, or I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it's a lot of surface level talk about it and not getting down to the actual root cause, because one thing that I found until I got to the root cause of why I turned to food, which is a lot of people, and in my experience, a lot of people think it's just because you eat a lot, like you gain this weight because you don't care about yourself, or things of that nature. You just want to eat, but ultimately there is a root cause of led you to turn to food in the first place, and that's what keeps bringing you back to the same location is the food. And it's like until you get to that root issue, you're continuously going to repeat the cycle. So it's just not you just need to walk, you just need to exercise, you just need to eat healthier. I mean, there are people who eat very healthy, they're overweight.
Yeah.
Well, and kind of a little bit like what she was saying, people, they just feel like you're just overeating. And that's wild, because like I actually eat more now than what I did when I wasn't working out. So like I'm always hungry.
Yes. And then a lot of the research I've come across, they're like, you need to eat like depending upon what your goals are, of course, but it's like you need to eat more in order for your body to really be able to absorb it, to help you do what you want to do in the gym. And I'm like, in my mind, it's almost like, well, that's not what they used to tell me. They told me I need to eat less, but you're telling me I need to eat more. So that goes to, you need to eat more specific type of foods like protein, healthy fats, carb, and carbs. People are like, carbs. And just to share a quick little story, I started a competition at a local place. It's called 5-Star Nutrition. Don't know if anybody's heard of it.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
So they started this competition. The date started with the 30th of January. And so for a month, basically, you just come in and you weigh in. So you earn money to spend basically in the store based upon the number of pounds you lose, fat loss, and muscle gain. So I've just been, I did it as an accountability thing. And plus, hey, you don't want to earn money that you're going to spend anyway on protein powder or pre-workout supplements, what have you. So I started, and I went and weighed in on Friday, and they have you stand on the scale, and it's like a body scanner basically. So they had my progress from the first day I weighed in, the 30th of January, until the Friday when I weighed in. So as I'm putting my socks and shoes back on, the guy was like, "Girl," and I'm thinking in my head, "Isn't that good?" It always ramps itself up anytime you get on the scale. So it turns out in the 2-week period that I have gained 10 pounds of muscle, and I've lost 6.4% of body fat.
Wow.
Scale wise, the number
went
really
up.
only gained a pound or lost a, did lose a pound weight wise, but body fat, which is what you want to gain because it's going to be long term. I lost 0.4% in 2 weeks, and he was like, people barely do 2% in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, and that was because I had to change my overall thinking when it came to how I eat. So there were ways that people had access to this information of learning the difference between losing weight, losing body fat, gaining muscle. And one great thing, of course, about social media is you have access to be able to see other people and learn from them. And like I told the guy, I was like, because he's like, what's your secret? I was like, honestly, I probably watch TikTok a little bit more than I should. However, I try to cater the people I watch around lifting and weight loss, positive weight loss, and I just adapt and see how it goes. So my favorite, it has been doing well, but it just goes back to show having positive or correct information, it makes a difference. Because here I am before, the scale's not moving down, so I'm not losing weight, I'm not doing a good job. But in actuality, I am doing a phenomenal job.
Exactly.
The probably valid excuses I could make why I can't go to the gym. However, it's about a whole transformational thinking that is really key to this journey of becoming a better version of yourself, not just watching the scale go down.
Yeah.
But it's
and you bringing in the scale too. I think that right there alone is also an important thing. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes sometimes when you watch the scale, or sometimes when you feel like the scale isn't moving, or maybe it goes up, it's a matter of you gaining body fat percentage or something like that. And Giselle, I want to actually get you in here because you're a trainer. And so, as a trainer too, and I'm not sure Minnie or Amanda if y'all are trainers, but I know you are a trainer, Giselle. And how do you deal with that with your clients? Like if they ever see the scale upping and they're like, that maybe spikes body dysmorphia, or like, man, I'm not seeing improvement, or they may try to blame you. What do you do? You're not helping us. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you allow them or make them see, hey, you're losing body fat percentage, like Amanda said, or hey, you are burning. It's just that you're gaining muscle. Do you deal with that sometimes, or how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so usually we'll have a weigh-in at the beginning, but from the start, I let them know, do not rely on the scale, like from the beginning. I let them know the scale is the last thing that's going to change. The first thing that's going to change is your measurements. So I use a tape measure to measure them from the beginning, and then depending on how long they're training, but like halfway point, and then like the end. So like if someone's training for 6 months, like first day, 3 months, and then 6 months, right? And progress pictures. So I take their progress pictures and I try to advise them, like, you take your own pictures, or send me like older pictures of like from before, whatever, like stuff like that. But I tell them from ahead of time. The scale measures water, bone density, fat, and muscle. It does not measure just fat. So I let them know all that stuff so that they know. So that way they don't freak out. And even then, sometimes they still kind of like, I can see it on their face, and I'm like, don't freak out. You're okay. You're fine. Like, you're gaining muscle because you've been eating more protein, you're lifting, and all that. So yeah.
There's some good stuff. And I want to move to this next question, because I think this is going to hit what all of y'all are saying or have said. But Giselle, I don't feel like I got you as well in regards to your body dysmorphia. And that is, like, I know that that's something you told me you've dealt with in the past, but how about currently now? Are you dealing with that as well now in the same form as Minnie or Amanda, or you're fine and it's not something you really struggle with anymore?
No, I don't really struggle with it.
Okay. What has kept it off, or what has allowed you to not struggle with it compared to the past?
The amount of confidence that I have. I think it's just like the confidence. Like, I think when you start to understand like the human body, like, I feel like you just don't Like it just, you don't worry about it. I don't know. It's also God, man. Really.
Hey,
It's really because of God.
hey.
It's really because of God.